Welcome to the electric guitar coding tutorial. Remember, this code is pretty straightforward to allow you to edit and modify to your liking. So let's go ahead and dive into the coding tutorial to get your electric guitar rocking and rolling. So we're just going to go here to new project like we've been doing. If you've done any of the previous chapters, we're going to choose word blocks, and I'm going to call this guitar code tutorial. You can name it whatever you would like. We're going to go ahead and hit create here. It's going to bring us right here to our coding canvas. So the code's pretty straightforward. What we're doing is basically creating a program that's going to await two inputs to happen at the same time. One, the input of the color from the color sensor, and the input from the force sensor. And when both of those are triggered, then the guitar will play a note and display the name of the note on the LED screen. And you can see as we get this to the final point, you're going to be able to do a lot of things with it. So to begin, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this when program starts. And instead, we're going to use just the regular when block right here. Now, what's going to happen is we're going to create one of these, and then we will duplicate it 4 more times to just adjust the noise and the color of the guitar note. So what we're going to do in this when block is we're going to drop down to the green operators, and we are going to add an and block. So we're going to wait for 2 inputs to happen. So we're going to go to the light blue, the sensor block here, and the first one we want to do is identify when the color sensor sees a certain color. Our color sensor is plugged into port C, so we're going to choose that. And for the first one, just going along the fretboard, we're going to choose this purple magenta color. And the other thing we need to add is when the color sensor sees this purple and it feels the force sensor being pressed, then it's going to trigger the note. So we're still in sensors here. We're going to choose when the force sensor is pressed. Our sensor is plugged into port D, so we're going to move that. So when both of these things happen at the same time, then we're going to go. So we're going to drop down to this cool green color, and you can see we've got a lot of options here. The first thing that we need to do, it'll be a little repetitive, but it just makes it easy for the sake of things, because maybe you want to have various instrument noises being played. So that's why I've inserted this here. I'm keeping it all default electric guitar, but you could make this a guitar, next one, the other note, a cello, whatever you'd like to do. And what we're going to do is pick another music block, and we're going to pick this one right here, play note 60 for a quarter beat. Now we're going to change this. Actually, we're going to keep 60 just where it's at, but you can see when you click on the 60 in this variable section, there's lots of notes, and you can scroll through and find exactly what it is that you're looking for. So you can have a lot of fun with this if you're really into music and understand music. And we're going to make this a half a beat, just long enough to make sure that we can hear it. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to then turn on the LED, the 5x5 grid, and we're going to play the note. We can see here at 60, it's a C note, so we want to display that. So I'm going to go over here, and we're going to turn on our screen, and I'm just going to edit this to look like the letter C, and that way on our guitar, it'll show that it's playing C. Now, that's it for each color note. We just changed the settings. So I'm going to right click here on this when block, and I'm going to choose duplicate. And we can do the exact same thing. It makes life easier. This time I'm going to choose blue, keep an electric guitar. You can shake it up if you want. And I'm just going to go in the progression here. So I'm going to pick 62, and that is the note D. So I'm just going to fill this in for the letter D, just like so. I'm going to duplicate this again. This time we are going to be doing the color green. This is going to be note 65 for the smoke on the water that I would like to play. And I'm going to make this an F note. Again, you can make whatever notes you want depending on what it is you're trying to achieve. And by now you probably figured out we're going to go ahead and do this again. We're going to go red. I'm going to make red note 66 here. There we go. And we're going to make this. I'm going to just put in here a little tiny note. There we go, for my F note. And then last, we're going to duplicate one more time. And we've got, last but not least, yellow. And we're going to make this 67, which is the G note. So we'll go ahead and clear this out, clean this up a little bit. There we go. And that's it. You will download this, and when you run the program, as you slide the color sensor along the fretboard to those colors, and then press the force sensor at the same time, the force sensor is what's going to trigger the note. So that way it's not just playing like crazy all the time. And this is where I'm really excited. I would love to hear your music. I would love to hear what you perform on the electric guitar once you modify the code to your liking and start to have a lot of fun with this instrument. All right, my friends, as always, stay awesome. Peace.